Welcome to another edition of Brock's Hunting Cabins and More. Isn't that a sound of beauty? Rain hitting a tin roof on a summer's day. Can't get no better. On this week's show, we're going to show you in our cabin segment the Bear Series, 440 square foot, a couple down in Shelby County, Alabama. Mike and Angela Scott built this one, and this one is an off-grid cabin. I hope you enjoy it. All this action right here, right now on Brock's Hunting Cabins and More. Well, on this week's cabin segment, we're here in South Shelby County. Shelby County?
Shelby County, Alabama.
And that's south of Birmingham.
That's correct.
And we built this cabin for you guys, what, how long ago was it?
It's been about 5 years ago.
I'm surprised it's still standing.
Well, it is, and it's doing well.
Well, you guys built the Bear Series, and that was, we haven't even shown that yet. And I want to show the people what you did. I mean, this gentleman here, this is 5 years ago, he was talking and doing off-grid. Now we just started an off-grid cabin, but that's what you wanted to do in the first place, wasn't it?
Well, it is. What my goal was to get a place out here in the country that was off the grid, where when my grandsons came out here, they would be able to play in the outdoors, but not have electricity and other things available for video games. And such. So that was our idea, and to this day we are off-grid with, we have solar panels, and we have water that we bring in, but other than that, we are not connected at all.
Well, Angela, I know you love this view from its front porch. Do you sit out here with a cup of coffee in the morning if the grandkids will let you?
Well, yes, usually a glass of ice water this time of year, and we just have a beautiful view. I don't know if y'all can see it, but
we'll show it, that's for sure, because that's what sets
that's
this
really
place
why
out.
I think you said let's do this spot.
Was it me that said here?
Well, yes, I think we had picked out several different spots to look at, but when we came out here, you looked around and you decided that this spot here would be maybe the ideal for where we should put it.
Well, you know, I was out in Colorado last week looking at a piece of property, and what I look for, view. That's really, if I got a good view, then I can build that cabin to where I'm gonna be on that porch and I've got a beautiful view, and you guys have got an awesome view here. Okay, in the process of you finding out about us, how did you find out about us?
Well, what I did, I was interested in building a cabin, and a small cabin, and so I started looking online for various places and people that were doing that kind of work, and I found your website, and you know, it was good, and I could see all the different kinds of cabins that you had available. And then what it turned out, I looked, and they were going to have a deer expo, a hunting expo,
Birmingham,
downtown in Birmingham. And you were going to be there. You had a booth down there. So the first time I think we actually met you, we came to your booth down there and talked to you about our interest in building a cabin. And then you invited us out to your home where you were actually living to see the product, which that was a great thing. Rather than just looking at pictures, we were able to actually look at the product that you had available, and so we came out there, looked at that, and then and of course after talking to you, you were the man that we wanted to build our cabin.
Well, thank you. Well, you know, and the process is not that difficult. It didn't take us very long to get this dried in.
No, I would say probably maybe all in all, week and a half to 2 weeks, and it went up very fast. I was surprised at how fast you and your crew, which were wonderful to work with, by the way.
Well, you know, I didn't do a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
They won't let me because I can't read the tape measure.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Brock, actually, I remember you did do some. You were out here, and that is another thing that impressed me, is that you weren't just talking about these things. You were actually out here and involved and checking along the way to see if how things were going and if we were happy with the progress and things like that. And another thing I'd like to point out that was impressive to me is that we had several custom things we wanted to do, special things we wanted to do with the plan. And you and your crew that was out here working on it were so accommodating to that. You never questioned, you know, can that be done, or you know, will we be able to do that?
I don't know what that word means.
Well, well, and but you were always just very willing to let us do the things that we wanted to do, and that was just great. I mean, just wonderful to work with.
Well, you know, I tell people that it's really not that difficult, and I want to be there. I can't be there at all the places now, but you know, I like to have a relationship with the people that buy from me. I've never really actually sold a product up till this point. I mean, I've only been in advertising. It was all just, you know, Arab, and I took that same philosophy of sales to, you know, you take care of people, and they'll let you come back and see them 5 years later.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, and you didn't build and then disappear. You know, you were available, you know, to answer questions, and if there was a concern, you know, we could talk to you about it.
Well, I tell people, this is my phone, my cell phone. You can reach me anytime. I might not answer it right then, but I try to take care of people, you know, and it helps me. That's the best advertising in the world, is for you guys to be happy. But I tell you what, in a little bit, after we maybe show some views that the people will see you have, we'll talk a little bit about your off-grid stuff. How's that?
Okay, that's great.
Well, the rain came back and we had to come in, but you were talking about your cabin. I'm gonna let you just take our viewing audience through a tour of your cabin, starting with coming up from this beautiful view out here.
So let's go up here and we'll take a look at the cabin, and I'll show you some of the things about it that we're most proud of. But when you come up here on the porch, this is where we like to spend a lot of time, of course, and we've got a couple of rocking chairs out here that are a lot of fun to sit out here. And we tend to sit out here and watch the grandsons run around in the field, and we have a go-kart here that they can kind of an off-grid, the road go-kart that they can drive around in out here. And so they seem to enjoy that a lot. But coming up here on the porch, now one thing you'll notice, we've got different kind of columns out here than came with the package. These columns we actually cut, these are cedar trees that we actually cut off the property out here. And that was one of the things I asked your guys and you if you would could incorporate for us, and y'all were happy to do that. And so we have, they're a little different than would come with the standard package, I think. But then as we come on inside, you see this is kind of the main room of the cabin here. We have a loft that covers about half of the space in here. And if you look on the wall over here, you'll see this is kind of our control central for our solar system. Over here on the side, we have a controller, and we have some switches and things like that, some inverters. So as we go on through, we go into the bedroom in here. We have some bunk beds in here. The kids particularly seem to enjoy having bunk beds. And then there's also a loft in this room that's primarily used for storage and to keep things up and out of the way. There's also a small bathroom that we incorporated into this room under the loft,
Okay.
And we use that. We have a just a direct flush kind of toilet system, and that is used only in emergencies, really.
Because we have to dump it.
Yeah.
That makes it a chore then.
But it is available if we ever need to use it. And one thing I failed to mention is back in the large room, you'll see there's a couple of large windows in that room. And those were some things, I had some old doors that I wanted to incorporate in there and as to get some more light into the cabin. And you were gracious enough to go along with that plan and install those.
I want you to know, I almost lost my finger doing that.
Did you?
Oh, that whole thing, remember we built that frame?
Yes.
The whole thing fell in on, it was on my finger and I couldn't get it out. I was on here by myself and I was, help! Somebody had to come up there and help me, but thank you.
Well, good. well, and I'm glad you're still all in one piece. But that has added a lot because it's, I think it's a great feature in this particular room.
Well, I understand you're going to let us talk to your daughter next, Susan, about Granddaddy Week and how the kids enjoy this place, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm sure she'll be happy to tell you about it. She's not camera shy at all.
Well, I'm here with Susan Carruthers. You're the daughter of Mike and Angela, correct?
That's right.
And you have the two grandboys that I got to meet.
I do, yes.
So y'all really enjoy this place.
We really do. Yes, my boys are now 8 and 10, much older than they were when you built the cabin, but this is their favorite place in the world. One thing I've learned growing up is how important place is to a family. You know, my parents are obviously still with us. My grandparents are not, but they taught me through a lake house that they owned that place is so important, a gathering place for a family. That, you know, there's so many distractions and things that pull us in this life, schedules, kids' sports, school, things like that. But if you have a place that a family can gather, that is really just invaluable in today's culture, in today's world. So this place has become that for my boys. They want to come here all the time. Dad says, you know, of course, no electricity, so there's no video games. Not great cell service, which is fine. Even, you know, for us adults, we enjoy that opportunity to not be so connected to our cell phones. But my boys love to come here. They love to kind of roam free, you know. Again, in today's culture, even in our neighborhoods, you know, our children don't roam like they did several generations ago. But out here in the woods, they can roam. We've got a go-kart. They love to ride the go-kart on the roads out here. They love to play with their BB guns. They shoot BB guns out here all the time. They love to bush hog. They've learned to bush hog, yeah. And so, but also every summer, my dad holds what he calls Granddaddy Camp.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yes, so every year my boys come to Granddaddy Camp for about a week, and sometimes he does it with individual grandchildren, sometimes he, you know, has them as a group, but they always spend a lot of time here, and they build things, and they learn things, and they just spend time in God's creation out in nature. So I just can't tell you how much it's meant to our family and specifically to me because of what it's meant to my boys.
I asked him, I said, how do I join? I mean, he needs
You want to go to Granddaddy Camp?
He needs to start
Me
a
too.
Granddaddy Camp. I mean, that'd be great.
I know, me too. He should charge a lot for
He should
that.
have never said nothing. I have another business to do now.
That's right.
You know, you said something earlier that you love the outdoors and you want to go hunting.
I do.
Your daddy won't take you?
Well, you know, I haven't asked him. Maybe I should, but I feel like you're the guy. You should take me hunting. I feel like we'd have, because I don't want to waste a lot of time hunting. I want to get something.
You know why I quit doing TV?
Why?
Pretty women like you.
Well, why? That doesn't make any sense.
Because they were all doing TV shows. I couldn't compete. I mean, I got old bald head, ugly, you know, old, so I couldn't compete. So I'm going to be looking for a new co-host. So maybe, you know, we can get you hunting.
I'm in.
And I know you know about these cabins. You in?
I'm in. No
Great.
Questions asked.
Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you. Well, thank you for the gift that you've given our family. We really appreciate it.
Okay, it's time for Flashback. We got another great hunting or fishing segment for you.
Still hunting by moving quietly and slowly among the understory of the mesquites, it's often possible to walk up on an unsuspected bedded whitetail, especially big bucks that are inclined to bed down much of the day.
How about that? I'd like to see his daddy. He's around here somewhere.
Chris is moving to a spot where 5 senderos, or ranch roads, come together. Bait is regularly scattered there. He's approaching by the back door to avoid spooking any early arriving whitetail at this hot spot.
Favorite spot on the ranch. We've got 5 senderos that meet in a star right here. It's always a lot of game here. You can see walking up, we're even a little late, it's about 3:15. We've already got a group of javelinas in there. Usually when there's javelina, there's bucks. Let's go get them.
You know, this is very typical of ranch hunting in Texas. These animals are hunted, but by controlling the hunting pressure, they're usually quite often at ease most of the time. Chris has wisely located downwind, which will really be his ace in the hole if a shooter-class buck shows itself this evening.
He's a young deer.
His patience is paying off. This buck has good body size for a South Texas whitetail, and the width of the rack and height of the tines is quite respectable. Too bad for Chris, this buck really isn't in the best shooting position. Patience, man, patience. A broadside shot will surely come sooner or later. This raptor is a predatory specialist that's watching for a change rather than participating. Now that's a little better shot angle.
I see a lot of racks sticking up off of the sendero. Looks like a good buck. Looks like a real good buck. Golly. He's down. Whew, what a buck. Look at the tine length on this dude. Man, what a hunt. What a great buck. Big old square head, nice mature buck. Beautiful South Texas buck. Great tine length. He's probably gonna score, probably low to mid 140s. Great buck, nice mature deer. Been a tough hunt. I tell you what, this is 4th day we've been out here doing a lot of rattling, a lot of walking. I've probably walked just about every inch of this 7,000 acres and finally caught up with a beautiful South Texas deer. Really, really tall, good inside spread. I like how that beam wraps all the way back around. Obviously a mature buck, which is what you always want to strive for. We had a real nice young 10-point come in here earlier, but you want to let him grow. I'd like to come back and chase him next year. Whew, what a deer. Look, I don't know if you could see, but this dude has been doing some fighting. Look at these holes, how his hides wore up. That's just testament to South Texas and having good buck to doe ratio, and these deer have to fight to get the right to breed. He's been doing his fair share with this body size. Great South Texas deer. Thank you, God. Thank you, Thomas Ranch. I hope I get to come back, because man, I love it out here. Whew. I need some help to get this thing out of here.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the show today as much as we did bringing it to you. Man, isn't that a sound of beauty? I think I'm gonna take a nap after we get through. Remember, go to our YouTube channel, Brock's Huntin Cabins and More, and that's Huntin Cabins and More. And all you gotta do is subscribe. You get a chance to win a cabin almost as big as this. Remember, take a kid to the woods, it'll keep him off the streets, and may God bless you as He's blessed me, and all you gotta do is ask Him.